As a fun challenge for anyone who's listening, try telling the truth in social settings. So when someone invites you to a party, instead of coming up with a fake excuse that you both know is a fake excuse, just say, I don't want to go. Really fuck with you. And if someone says, hey, can you, help me move? You're like, I don't want to. It's very freeing because the thing is that their response is on them. And if I try and anchor myself to truth. If I just tell the truth and state the facts, I'm good with me. And if someone, and I asked, because I had an exchange recently where I said that, I say it often, and now people who are around me are accustomed to the fact that I will just state the facts and tell the truth. I said, would you have preferred that I've lied to you? And the guy just, I was like, so you would prefer that I lie? I will not be associated with someone who would prefer that I lie to them, because it makes my life difficult, because then I'd have to lie, which then would breach one of my values. So in the future, I had someone who recently was like, hey, if you need anything, let me know how I can help. I'd be like, you don't mean that, because if I actually need something, you will not help. And so it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people because it breaks a lot of social norms. But I think that it's kind of like the 100 no's is being comfortable. It's just being comfortable with the truth. And the truth is one of the scariest, ugliest things, why don't you want to go on another date with me? I don't like you. But people are so uncomfortable with that. And I think that I've just tried to shed bullshit as much as I could from my life. And it's just made thinking a lot easier and also dealing with relationships a lot easier, because you also, by shedding social niceties, when you do also state the truth, when I say, I think you fucking killed that, people know it fucking carries weight because you don't just say that. And so I would say most of my team, for example, if I pay a compliment, they know that I mean it. And it makes your words mean what you say. And I think that is I aspire to be a man who, when I say things, people know that I mean them. And I think a way to do that is to stop saying things that I don't mean. And so I'm trying to cut as much of the words that are niceties and things that I don't mean and are nonsensical and bullshit that I've been taught to say in this social situation. When someone says, that makes sense, I say, no, it doesn't make any sense. People are like, oh, because when someone says makes sense at the end of a sentence, we are trained to just nod and say, yeah, even though if you didn't even process it. But if I don't think it makes sense, I say, no, I don't think it makes sense, or no, I don't understand. And again, you don't want to look stupid, but looking stupid in the moment so that you can better understand something makes you not look stupid for the rest of your life when you actually understand it. And so that has been a huge effort of mine, is to make words great again.
Make words mean what they mean again.
Yeah. And I really aspire to do that with my writing, and especially in my social relationship, because time is so valuable when we have so little of it. And I don't want to waste any of it pretending to be someone or say things that I don't mean.
It's normal to not know what you're doing. If you did, it wouldn't be called growth. High five your fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and carry on. Do you get tired, stressed, sad, hungry, frustrated, unfocused? Do you feel misunderstood? Great. You're human. You don't need medication.
I have a huge, vehement distaste for mental medication. And I think one is because it's overprescribed, two, because people over WebMD themselves, and fundamentally people find a problem with being human. And I think a lot of that is because of the social norm that we should be never hungry, never sad, never angry, never frustrated, never feel like we're misunderstood. And those are the troughs and peaks of humanity. And we can't only wish for sunny days, because otherwise we'd have droughts and everyone would die. And so it's wishing for something that isn't true and will never happen. It's wanting a lie, which is why I'm so against it. Now, are there people who they can test their neurology and whatever? Maybe, but honestly, 100 years ago, this shit didn't exist. And people just dealt with life. And I think people were happier then than they are now. And so clearly this solution hasn't been much of a solution at all. And so I don't have that many extreme stance. One of my extreme stances is that there is nothing wrong with you. Because even if there is something wrong with you, how do you benefit by saying there is something wrong with you and then accepting that label into yourself? Because the alternative to that is accepting your current existence as maybe this is better than everyone else's, and I'm just choosing to believe that it's wrong. And all of this is around some big, mighty should that we think and that we worship, that we should be a certain way that we're not. And I think that discrepancy, that word, I've tried to eliminate as much as humanly possible from my vocabulary, because I should what? I should nothing. According to whom? Why should I be happier? Why should I have less anxiety? Why should I feel more understood? You drink a lot because you're stressed. If you deal with the thing that stresses you, that's the trigger for you drinking. So yes, there's addictive properties to drinking. I'm not denying that. But the thing that leads to the drinking, the condition that creates that, that's something that you can attack. And so I think so little attention is given to accepting reality rather than saying there's something wrong, that people waste their entire lives searching for an answer that doesn't exist.
What about it's normal to not know what you're doing? If you did, it wouldn't be called growth. High five your fear, uncertainty, and doubt and carry on.
If you knew what you were doing, then you would be stagnating because you'd be doing nothing new. And so if you're going to do something new, then that is what would be the catalyst for growth. And so you can't want to grow and also want to know everything you're doing at the same time. It's like the two beliefs contradict one another. And so I think that's a lot of the discontent that people suffer from, is they want two things that are polar opposites. They want the really strong character, they want the easy life. Like one is the price of the other. You have a hard life to have great character. You have an easy life. You have shitty character. Everything came easy. You want to grow. You don't want hardship. Hardship creates growth. And so they want both, and you can't. Like, it's wanting the Jordans without paying the price. And the price isn't bad. It's just the price is what it is. And so it's just, do you want the Jordans or not? And if you do, then don't lament the price tag. Pay the price tag and be happy you have the Jordans. And if you don't want the Jordans, then don't buy them.
There's something in here is around comparing the lessons that people who have achieved success tell you about how to also achieve success, and they're using that pattern, which is, well, they look like they know what they're doing. I should look like I know what I do. I should feel like I know what I'm doing. But you don't know what you're doing. You're a white belt, and that person's a 3rd degree black belt in whatever it is that you're trying to pursue.
State the facts and tell the truth.